Welcome into yet another episode of the Strive Sports Podcast. Episode number 9 is on.
Yes, sir.
And for the inaugural season of this, the inaugural season of this podcast started back in September. It's going by way too quick. 3 episodes left for the first season. We are on episode 9. After this, 1, 2, 3 more. I don't have the guests planned out. It's all improvised. Cam, you know how we do it over here. As you can see on the screen, we're batting 1,000. We've got a tremendous guest on deck for you. But real quick, Cam, if you may, I gotta pay the bills real quick. So
let's get it.
Big shout out to our people over at Royal Retros, man. Thank you guys for allowing us to partner with you through this particular platform. With Christmas right around the corner, get your shopping done early. Head over to Royal Retros, scan the QR code when the promo pops up, and once you're at checkout, use promo code STRIVE, STRIVE, save 10% on your order, and then a link will be provided in the description below. So I'm going to have you guys covered on that front. So make sure you guys go check out Royal Retros. Likewise, if you ain't subscribed to the podcast, damn it, get on it. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Trying to run up the viewership. We just had Jonathan Newsom. Cam, I think you're familiar with Jay New. I think you
Yeah, Jay New, that's my boy. That's my boy there.
You were both in the CFL at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, we was on we was with BC together.
Okay, yeah.
That's where we originally met each other, was at BC actually.
Jay New is a tremendous human being, dude. I love
him. Man, that's my guy, bro.
That guy is full of knowledge, and honestly, it's nothing but free game on that podcast. So if you want to go check that out, that is episode number 8. It's the one before this one. Go check it out. It's on YouTube right now. Find me and follow me at Keegan Hartman1 on Twitter and at Kigo Amigo. So, all right, enough about that. Let's get into it. So, keep the hits rolling this season. Episode number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot express to you enough how excited I am for this next guest, man. It literally took a phone call. All it took was a FaceTime, and lo and behold, we were able to get this. Fresh off of signing with a new team, my esteemed guest is no stranger to quickly acclimating to ever-changing circumstances. As a matter of fact, in every venture previous, my esteemed guest has established himself as a key cog with every team he has been a part of. Born in Ennis, Texas, Cam Echols-Luper, football journey has been no stranger to change, adaptation, and perseverance. Fast forward to Echols-Luper's high school career. Cam would play an integral role in propelling the Auburn High Tigers varsity football program to a 6A state title in 2013. Not to mention, Echols-Luper would accrue some hardware for his personal collection on the track and field, earning himself 3 state titles as a senior on the track, nabbing gold in events such as the 200-meter dash, posting a 21.8 time in the 200 meters, what it said. Now, mind you, I'm just a messenger, so I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if you can attest to that. I don't know if you can recall.
Now, are you saying 21.8 or 21.08?
21.8. I apologize. I don't speak track.
0. Make sure you tell them 21.08. Not because 21.08 is here. 21.8 is.
Hey, that's on me. That's on me.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
I am far from a track athlete. I mean, look at so, and not to mention, you excelled at the long jump as well. Now, I don't know how the hell they do the distances there. It says 24-3.75. I'm inept. I'm gonna be honest.
So that's 24 feet and 24 feet and 3 3/4.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day, Cam. It's crazy.
Hey man, it's not too. Once you get into it, like it took me like a year or 2 to actually understand the metrics and everything, how they do it. But once you get into it, it's actually kind of relatively easy.
You know what? We're going to be talking about the stops from here on out. So, look, I'm just going to shamelessly plug the social. We're getting right into the combo. You can find him and follow him at Cam 2 times, if I'm not mistaken, on Twitter and Instagram. He is the one, the only Cam Echols-Luper, the newest receiver for the New Orleans Breakers. Happy Thursday, brother. Thank you for joining in.
My guy, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm chilling, dude. I told you before the podcast I was going to do my research and everything, and
man, look, yeah, you did your due diligence, man. I appreciate that.
A little bit on the high school front, not a lot on the college, but we're gonna get into that, and
It's
I'm
all
gonna
good. It's all good.
let you share the testimony because you're the one that lived through it. So
Yeah,
let
yeah.
let's start off with a little bit of icebreaker, my friend. So you just signed with the New Orleans Breakers, and my
Mhm.
God, shout out to the Breakers, man. Y'all are stacking up on that wide receiver depth. Uh,
Hey man, absolutely. Blue Waves finna get on it, bro.
yeah, ride the wave, man.
You
So
hear me?
yeah. So you talk about the Big Easy, man. Now I know that it's all hub format with the merger. Obviously, we don't know necessarily where everything's at, but we kind of get a sense of how the format's going to be next season. But we talk about New Orleans itself. You said that you're big into culinary cooking. That's your type of thing. Is one of your hobbies. Uh, are you familiar with some of the cooking that they got down south in the Big Easy and some of your favorite dishes, man?
So, I'm familiar with, the Cajun style type cooking, the Creole style cooking, but
Yeah.
I can't sit here and say I've just made any type of New Orleans dishes or like Louisiana dishes or even just Creole or Cajun dishes yet. I'm still learning, but I can sit here and say I watched my mom make some gumbo the other day, and I'm not
Mm.
gonna say I'm ready to try it, but that's where I got all my culinary skills from is my mom. But yeah, man, yeah, here lately, cooking has become a very, very found habit, and and I love it, man. It's just one of the things where it's like I can kind of control. I'm not a controlling person, but just to be able to control how food turns out, how it looks, man, how it tastes, and watching the faces, man, this is actually pretty good. It does something to you, man. It makes you feel good to be able to hand a plate to somebody and it looks amazing and it just smells amazing and it tastes even better. You
Now,
know.
go ahead, finish your thought. I
Oh
apologize.
no, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
I was gonna say, obviously, I mentioned Cajun food is its own cuisine, but certainly you probably have some cuisine that be it Italian, Mexican, Chinese. What is Cam
All
Echols-Luper?
right. So okay now, man. I got a few dishes I can make, you know what I'm saying? But I say my top three is my secret ingredient family recipe. So I can't just let y'all in too much, but just know that spaghetti is top tier. It's different, and it's not like your normal spaghetti, from normal restaurants or your normal homemade spaghetti. Like this is probably like two, three generations passed down. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't put my own little mix into it, but yeah, man, my spaghetti is off the chain. This past season, I think it was every Friday or Saturday night. I would cook for the household before our games,
Yeah.
and spaghetti was was always a top ask. My smothered baked chicken was always a
Mm.
top ask. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So smothered baked chicken over some rice and some asparagus with some Brussels sprouts with some mac and cheese. Yeah, bro, you can never go wrong, man. And then, man, I kind of, I because of we was in Canton and nobody had a grill around us, man. I kind of got, I got pretty nice on the grill. I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie.
okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? I got,
What's the
my steaks. You know what I'm saying? I made shish kebab for the first time. I thought it was gonna be a lot harder, but I didn't realize it was just, you put things on the little skewer. I didn't know it was all that. But my shish kebabs are pretty nice. My grilled burgers, of course. I don't eat barbecue, so I can't sit here and say I can barbecue because I don't eat barbecue.
Why not? You grew up in Alabama, Texas, in the South. What the hell,
Man, yeah, I did. Okay, me growing up in Alabama and growing up and living in Texas too. I always was never really just fond of barbecue.
man?
I don't know why, but okay, I like barbecue sauce. Don't
Oh,
get me wrong. I
that's
like barbecue sauce, but pause. It just be too much meat for me.
I knew one of these was going to be in the freaking podcast. But so resume. So you talk about we're gonna segue. You talk about Alabama growing up in the South, man. Growing up in Alabama itself, I want to know a little bit more about Cam Echols-Luper, the football player. So you attended Auburn High School.
Mhm.
Kind of take me through the journey growing up in a place like Alabama and even Texas. We think of football, we think of the South in general, and
Absolutely.
Alabama and Texas got to be two of the most competitive places to grow up in the
Absolutely, man.
high school atmosphere. So take it away, man.
Um, well, so I'm a coach's son. And most people know this, but my stepdad is a collegiate coach, and
Right.
we had a lot of stops growing up, man. And being that he coached in New Mexico, Oklahoma State, and then after Oklahoma State, we moved to Auburn my freshman year, I believe. Yeah, my freshman year.
Mhm.
And man, being a coach's son and being able to move every 3 to 4 years, I learned how to adapt quickly. I learned how to adapt to teammates, friends, the environment, whatever you want to call it. But man, moving to Auburn, Alabama was not a culture shock, but an environmental shock. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Being that I lived in Oklahoma before that, and if you're not too if people aren't too familiar with Oklahoma, it's night and day almost from Texas. Like the environment's different. The people are very different. They're great. Oklahomans are great people. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
The football's a little different. Sports are a little different. But moving to Alabama, man, it taught me. It taught me a lot. It made me want to learn more about who I am and where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Because the heritage is so rich down there. The tradition is so rich. The just being a African American is so important and being so rich down there. So man, it taught me a lot, man. And being that my high school was predominantly 60-40 black and coming from a school where it was switched about 70-30 white to black, man,
Right.
it it taught me a lot, man. And you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you would think of being in Alabama, sorry, it's a lot of noise around here. I'm in the lobby of my apartment.
You're
Um yeah, being around, and going there as a freshman to Auburn, Alabama, was a change, bro. Auburn University wasn't just they didn't have their best year, but what little do people know that next year is when the man came,
yeah.
Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? And so like, but I was a freshman on varsity, but I was a return specialist and a backup quarterback on varsity my freshman year. But uh, I started on JV and on the ninth grade team. My JV and ninth grade team were combined. And
Right.
I started there. I was there starting quarterback and backup on varsity. So I would play Monday nights,
Mhm.
and then I would take Tuesday off. I would go to practice Wednesday and Thursday with varsity because we ran the same type of offense, same scheme. So
Right.
I would be, I would practice maybe one day with JV with varsity, and then I would go straight to varsity. But yeah, man, I had a pretty good, ninth grade career as a starting quarterback, but I made more buzz and more noise on special teams with varsity. Um, I can't sit here and just tell you my stats, but I know I threw 2 touchdowns as a freshman on varsity, being able to trick plays, and I want to say I had a couple key returns as a freshman. One against Prattville, I think we lost that game, and the game before that we played Daphne against TJ Yeldon, and
Oh,
I had a touchdown pass that game, and then I had a pretty good return as well. But man, just my freshman year, honestly, it set up my entire high school career.
oh,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because how I look at my football career, period, it's always started on special teams. I've
Yeah.
always had to make my name and make who I am on special teams. And it's just so funny that it started there. Going into my sophomore year, I got the starting role at quarterback. Um, we did relatively well. I want to say we made it to like third rounds. We lost to Carver Montgomery, if I'm not mistaken. Junior year started again. My junior year is where I kind of skyrocketed. I wouldn't say I peaked because I just skyrocketed. Offers came. I looked more. How do I say this? Sophomore year, I looked very robotic at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Junior year, I kind of got my swag a little bit. I kind of got the understanding of what I was doing. So I got a feel of who I was, and then just coming off a track season how I did my sophomore year, it gave me confidence to not only be a quarterback at a prestige high school, but gave me the confidence to run a team and get us into the playoffs.
Mhm.
And not just follow my coach's lead every time. It was actually it was actually on me now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we lost in the first rounds my junior year, which is heartbreaking. Because I feel like my junior season team had the best team I played on my high school career. Man, we had a guy who went to Ole Miss and got drafted in the NFL to the Bengals, Cody Core. He was my receiver. Um, man, I had so many guys on that team that are no name, low grade guys, but bro, we had so many dogs. We had so many dogs that nobody knew about to the point to where it was like all I had to do was either hand the ball off or just throw it to somebody open. Like I didn't have to do much, man. But fast forward to my senior year, it's where Cam comes out. The real Cam comes out. The true playmaker, the true genius on the field, the true guy who can not only just lead a team by being a quarterback, but lead a team because he's 100% confident who he is on the field. Cam came out. And yes, most people do know this, but Reuben Foster was my teammate my senior year, the linebacker for the Maulers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Ferrari.
and yeah, man, and me and Ruben are actually, we call each other twin, man. We're 1-1, man. His birthday is August 4th, mine's August. I'm sorry, his birthday is April 4th, mine's April 9th. And so like we're best friends, man. We lived together senior year, man, and it was just a tremendous time to be able to stand in the pocket, tell Ruben where to go, and then watch him just take over an entire defense, man. Like I watched Ruben clothesline a guy off his forearm, man. Just and I'm sitting here just saying, like, I can sit here and talk about myself my senior year, but it was so much more fun playing with Ruben.
Yeah, dude's a
You know
dog.
what I'm saying?
Dude's a
Yeah,
dog.
man. And then, also he's playing for the Cowboys now. Rashawn Evans was also my high school teammate.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. We had some guys, man, and Rashawn was, growing up, everybody thought Rashawn was going to be the next Cam Newton because he was a freshman. I think he was probably like 6'2", 6'3" already.
Yeah.
Nobody could stop him. But little did they know, Rashawn is probably the best defensive athlete I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Being like his sophomore year, I believe Rashawn played safety.
Right.
Yeah, he played safety. Junior year, I'm sorry, his freshman year was my sophomore year,
Mhm.
or junior year was one or two. I want to say he's a year or two younger than me, but he played safety. The next year he played linebacker at the end, and then bro, I've never seen somebody just adapt to being a pure dog like Ruben so quickly, man. And it was like I said, bro. My junior and senior year, all I had to do was just hand the ball off to Ruben, or just throw it to somebody who was open. It was so fun because I knew the defense was about to bring the ball right back. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And man, and just to talk about that, man. And I kind of had to correct you because man, I wish I did. But the year after me, they went to the state title. The year that I graduated, we lost in I want to say the third round to our rival, Opelika. Man, I don't even want to talk about this game, but I'm gonna tell you the score, and you just imagine how dreadful this game was. We lost 9-7.
Bruh, what the hell? Y'all did what?
9-7 to your crosstown rivals in the playoffs.
Wait a minute. So how'd it go? Did it go 3-3-3, touchdown, safety? How did
No, so it went. They got a safety on me in the first half,
oh,
right? But they didn't score again. So I want to say they scored off some BS, honestly, because I don't remember their first touchdown. But the last time, or no, I do honestly. I do remember the touchdown because it was on me. Why am I acting like this? So we was in cover two, bro. And if anybody knows, I played both ways my senior year, and they ran this play in the first half, right? And the first half, it was the same exact play. I knocked it down for a PBU, but this time we're in cover two and not in man. And I specifically remember telling my safety, stay over the top because so they were going into like a triangle, a triangle bunch. The outside guy came in motion. He was here. This guy ran shallow. This guy here ran a wheel. But this guy who came in motion was going to act like he was stalk blocking and just runs up the middle of the field. And like I said, in the first half, they ran the play. I called it out. We saw it. Boom, PBU. Okay, great. They ran the same play again.
scoring drive?
And I told the safety, stay over the top. And because you see me in cover two just sitting here, I had the wheel. And next thing you know, I just see the guy running scot-free down the middle of the field because the safety came screaming down to the shallow. And I'm looking, I'm just like, okay, somebody has to get this. So I just take off. and I see the ball in the air, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get there. Next thing you know, I just feel the tip of the ball just hit my fingers and falls right into his hands.
Oh my God, bro.
Bro, it was the most dreadful 48 seconds to end the game of my life.
Bro,
But
and
don't get me wrong. I drove us down, I think to like the 35 or the 20, but we just ran out of time, bro. Like there was just no time.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like there was just absolutely no time to do anything. Like if I would have had at least a minute, okay, cool. But then also I think we had like maybe one timeout too, so like, it just wasn't going. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I never actually made it to the state championship as a football player, but I had some great teammates, some great teams that I really feel like we probably could have won two or three, if not won four in a row at Auburn High. But yeah, man. I had great success there. And not even to mention that, man. My track career at Auburn High was one for the books, man. If I'm not mistaken, I'm one of the most decorated track athletes there. I won two state titles my sophomore year. I won three my junior year. Actually, I won six my junior year, and I won six my senior year. So what's that? That's 14 state titles.
yeah.
Yeah, because we had indoor track my junior and senior year as well. So yeah, I won the 200 indoor and outdoor. I won long jump indoor and outdoor. Won the 4x2 in indoor,
Mhm.
and then we won the 4x1 outdoor. So I did that 2 years in a row. Um, and I also was a New Balance All American. I won long jump there, so like I have a whole ring for being a New Balance champion, New Balance All American. Um, Also, me and my 4x2 team and myself, we got invited to what do you call that? Man, I can't remember, but it's a huge like track meet in New York. It's at the Armory, and I cannot remember what it's called, man. But like when I say like everybody from around the world comes to this track meet for high schoolers. Yeah, we got invited to it, and I got invited there for the long jump and for the 200. I think I finished like third in the two, and I tied for first in the long jump. So I had a pretty good career in track, but yeah, man, just high school was fun, bro. What I'm saying? And I honestly wish that, the short quarterback, standards that is nowadays that everybody is under 6 feet. I wish that was 3 or 4 years before
Yeah.
because I had maybe like one or two offers at quarterback. I had Utah and Georgia Tech. And at that time, I was not going to go run a wishbone. Uh, and Utah wasn't what they were now back then.
Well, I mean, I gotta ask, with the wishbone and flexbone being popular among military academies, were there any military academies that reached out about running joining
You
in?
know, yes, actually, but it didn't go further than them calling my high school coach.
Good.
It went yeah, Cam's probably but the thing is everybody knew if you were recruiting me, it was two things you had to know. I was coming to your school to play football and to run track.
Hmm.
There was no question about that. You had to offer me a dual scholarship or you had to allow me once football ended, you had to allow me to go get on the track. That was the number one rule. And the number two rule was I was coming back to Texas to play football regardless. So, and the only way that happened is if there was a school at that time better than any of the schools in Texas. And it's kind of hard for a school to come out of the state of Texas that's prestigiously better than Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and TCU.
Mhm.
And my thing was I wanted to go back home because not a lot of my family members got to see me play in high school. I had my grandparents would come to every game. I had some uncles, some my aunt would come, my grandma would come, but I didn't have just the whole family at a game. And so I wanted that opportunity to where they didn't have to drive 10, 12 hours. You could drive 45 minutes from Ennis, Texas to Fort Worth and come watch me play. Or you could drive 3 hours from Ennis to Austin. But yeah, man, my whole senior season, I was committed to Texas A&M and Coach Sumlin and Coach Kingsbury. And I was going there actually to play quarterback, which Nobody knew because I was committed as an athlete. But yes, I was going there to play quarterback to the backup Johnny. That was the plan.
Well, I mean, even regardless, like Kingsbury doesn't get enough credit because throughout his
Absolutely.
career, it was Manziel. You have Mahomes at Texas Tech. Like he's got a
Hmm.
resume as well. You would be stupid
Exactly.
at the
You know what
time.
I'm saying? And then even when and what's funny is even when I decommitted, one of my first calls and conversations I had was with Coach Kingsbury at when he went from A&M to Texas Tech.
Yeah,
And it's just so funny because me and Pat are in that same recruiting class.
that's that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, man, like, bro, I was in the same quarterback recruiting class as Deshaun Watson, Pat Mahomes, all those guys, man. And it's funny because, me and Deshaun never had conversations, but back in the day, like, we would comment on each other's pictures, like, hey, man, that was a great game, because he was in Gainesville, Georgia, which is not too far from where I went to high school in Auburn, Alabama, man. And so, yeah, man, but, yeah, so I decommitted from A&M, I believe it was after the season. I'm not gonna go into all those schematics, but yeah. And then I took like a month or two to kind of decide, and it was a 2-for-1 deal actually. When I went to TCU, my stepdad was, he was looking for a new job because he was coaching at Auburn. Auburn had won the national championship that kind of went down a couple of years, and so everybody got let go. So he was looking for a new job, and so I was like, man, how about we go down to Fort Worth and check it out? All right, cool. We got an official visit, went down there, and me and him knew it was a 2-for-1 deal. I was like, man, how about, he already told me he was going to try to get an interview, but I didn't know he already had one set. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of slow playing me, but, we got down there and instantly, man, like, I think I went to TCU that summer before as well, before I committed to A&M. And not saying that I didn't love it then, but for some reason, I just I fell into the love of Fort Worth at TCU, man, and it was it was a tremendous time, man. And so I committed, and I kind of made sure that Coach P know, like, hey, man, if I commit, you got to offer my dad a job. And like I said, little did I know it was already set in stone. He was offered a job, and I committed, so it was a 2-for-1 deal. And next thing you know, the Loopers are moving from Alabama to Fort Worth, Texas, all together. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, and that was a fun time.
Um, yeah, no, I was gonna say off topic side note here. So back in 2022, I went down to the Lockheed Armed Forces Bowl, which was between Army
Okay,
and Mizzou at the time.
yeah, yeah, at Fort Worth.
I attended Mizzou. It's my alma mater. So
Hmm.
I was there covering it for the radio station. What's the stadium called for TCU, by the way? What's the name?
Amon G. Carter Stadium.
I hate that damn stadium. No offense, but in my opinion, I freaking hate it. So many damn stairs you gotta walk up. I'm like, Jesus.
It is, and you know what's funny about that? So
Oh,
you know how you was at that game, right? My little brother played in that game, and my stepdad coached in that game.
oh cow.
Because
Yeah,
my little brother plays for Missouri, and my stepdad coaches for Missouri.
chance. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, yep.
Yep, yep.
I look, dude, I'm gonna be honest. That whole trip, I got into a car accident. Who does that? Going down to long story short, I couldn't stand the big stadium. My experience was bad. I digress. So, look, 2014, you attend TCU. I want to ask real quick, I want to go back to track. I know I'm a little inept about the sport itself, but I can guarantee you that the tangibles and the intangibles it takes to be a track athlete almost immediately translate over to what it takes to be a football player. And they always
Absolutely.
they always say, like, in order to be better at a sport, it doesn't hurt to be a two-sport athlete. And obviously,
Right.
picked one of the hardest ones in the off season to get you better. How did you see, or well, did you see any sort of drastic improvement in your athleticism, or was it just kind of a natural ability? I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, what did track do to help you, excel on the gridiron? I know that seems like a very stupid
No,
question.
man, that's actually a great question because people always say you can't teach or coach speed, but excuse my language, if you get their ass on the track, what are you doing?
It's not a
You're
custom.
coaching and teaching speed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But like, no, man. Honestly, bro. Growing up, I was never just the fastest in my class. I was always in like the second or third. There was always a female that was faster, And so, man, I realized, I'm kind of backtracking in the timeline a little bit. When we moved to Stillwater, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
this is when I really knew I was like, all right, I might be kind of fast.
Mhm.
There was a kid there. His name is King Williams, and I believe he was a grade under me, if not the same class, same grade. But everybody swore he was just the fastest in the county, fastest in Stillwater. And man, we went there for a high school camp, and I smoked his ass. Like smoked him like barbecue. And it was one of those races where it was like I smoked him so bad. I sat there. I kind of got in the car with my mom, and she got calls from thousands of parents, or like when they saw her at Walmart, they was like, "Hey, your son so and so who beat King in a race, right?" And we was just like, "That's what y'all call fast." Like, not to say he wasn't fast, you know what I'm saying, but like, that's what y'all called fast, like. And so then, like, I kind of was like, all right, like maybe I can use this on the field. And I started seeing like my first time running track was in eighth grade, man, and I don't think I lost the race.
Oh,
Like I don't think I lost my first race until I moved to Alabama when I was like, okay, now these cats is really fast.
they're different.
You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, honestly, bro, if if people knew what they were watching when they watched my highlights, if they knew what they were watching when they watched my film, if you go back from my freshman year high school film to my most recent highlight with the Generals, you can see what track does.
Mhm.
You can watch, you can literally watch me be running side by side with the guy as a freshman and sophomore to as a junior and senior, as a freshman at TCU leaving guys. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see the explosion. You could see me jumping over guys or further than guys. Like, and that comes from the fact that I lifted weights for football, but all my conditioning came from track.
Mhm.
What most people don't understand is track lifts with track, and they lift like crossplex. They don't lift heavy weights. Everything is a lot of reps and very fast and very explosive. But I lifted with the football players and ran with the track. So man, and at TCU we was almost power lifters.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? We almost the whole team was more than half the team was squatting 400 or more.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? And so just imagine you putting that on the track, man. I became, if not, I mean, you can. It's the resume speaks for itself. You can look it up. I was named. I think it was 3-time college football's fastest by NFL, and then I was named. I think 2-time most freakiest athletes, and that just is a testament of what track can do to a football player. Most people call me a track guy, but bro, I was a football player who ran track for fun. I was a football player who excuse my language, ladies who I dated, but I was a football player who ran track to get girls and just to, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my way of, all right, let me go find something to do something that keeps me out of trouble. Let me find something to do something that keeps my grades up and that keeps me entertained to where I can do what I got to do, man. And what's a better way to be entertained than run fast and watch pretty girls run fast to have bikinis on almost all day?
Hey man, I ain't gonna say nothing, but hey,
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the thing is, like, if you get where I'm coming from, track guys and football, you get it. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. That's the only thing I'm gonna say is, but man, like, um, yeah, bro, and that's why it was so easy for me to transition from football to track back to football because I was always in shape. I was always in shape for lifting. I was never out of shape. So there was no like it was literally easy. It was almost one of the things where it was like waking up, brushing your teeth for me. Once football ended, I went straight to track. Once
you,
track was done, get ready for football.
we never got it. We never got a vacation day, huh? We never got to take a trip.
Uh, man, and we're gonna touch on that here in a minute. And yeah, I from my eighth grade year all the way until my redshirt junior year at a little school we may not speak about a little stint I had. That was literally the time I was a dual sport athlete for almost 6 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like straight. Like I never really had like I don't know what a spring break vacation is. I don't know what a summer vacation is. I don't know what a Christmas and New Year's vacation is. I kind of just found out in the last year what vacations really are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I never really took time off because I didn't know what time off was. time off or not playing a sport or running track meant to me my grades aren't going to be up. They're not going to be as high.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get in trouble because I'm going to be out. I'm not going to have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like it just made sense for me to just go right into another and just keep going.
Well, it's great to have structure, and I commend you for that. Now, me, on the other hand, once I got to high school, I was like, the hell with this. I'm going back. You're not holding back. So, yeah, I found other ventures beyond football, but kudos to you for sticking.
Appreciate it, boss. Appreciate it.
So, I do want to talk about a little bit on TCU, and then obviously you have brought up that there was a venture between
Ah,
Kentucky. We don't have to get into we don't
it's
have
all
to.
right. It's all right. It's and the thing is, it's not that I don't like getting into it, man. It's just one of those learning experiences that is you one of those learning experiences, man, that you just hate to bring up. You know what I'm saying? Like it taught me so much to the point to where it's just like it's just no point of even just talking about it. But it is a good conversation because I know there's other guys, other athletes that can feel and understand where I'm coming from when I sit here and I would never talk bad about an institution or school or coach, but can understand where I'm coming from when I say it wasn't a good mix and it wasn't just the best time.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is a platform for athletes. That's why I created this platform, because those are open conversations that a lot of people
Absolutely.
don't really feel compelled to talk about, but it's something that it obviously it lives with you, it resonates with you, and it's an experience that ultimately resulted in a lesson, if anything. So, um, you know,
Absolutely.
we can definitely get into that, but obviously touching first on the your time with the Horned Frogs. So gridiron. I'll just go down the accolades list here. All Big 12 honorable mention. Your freshman year with the Horned Frogs as a punt return specialist, and I believe you were averaging, when you were with the Horned Frogs your freshman year, was and this is per TCU. So if you're going to get on anybody's ass, it's TCU. Nearly
It's
11
probably right.
near 11 yards per return, ranking fourth. I know how some athletes are, man. I mean, that's 5 yards off, man. Like, so I'll throw that out there. I'll throw TCU under the bus before I throw myself. But no, you ranked fourth in the Big 12 in 2014, and then obviously we'll get into track. But you come into TCU, and I don't really know. Going back to being recruited and everything, I think, refresh my memory. You were an athlete that played every single position on the field, seemingly,
Mhm.
in high school. So
Right.
what was it that was your true, passion, your true affinity? If I had to guess, I would think quarterback was where your heart was, from what I've read, but I could be wrong. I mean, you obviously a great return specialist and great receiver, but why so quick to move you to returner? And did you start to develop a passion for it when you were thrusted into
Man, honestly, my passion and my dream was to be a college quarterback.
Mm, mm,
That was what I wanted to do because, um, I mean, you can sit here and ask me today, and I truly believe that I could have went into TCU or Texas A&M, whichever one I would have. If I would have stuck with A&M, I truly believe when Johnny left, I could have took over the program.
mm. Yes, sir.
And when I say that, I mean that wholeheartedly, and I'll throw my life there. That's what I believe, and I feel like I could have did it. I believe I could have did the same at TCU, but man, we had Trayvon Borkin.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I
You
I
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. And so but the thing is, like, there was they did ask like, Cam, do you want to play quarterback? And I was just kind of just like, man, like I do, but y'all didn't already put it in my head that I'm not going to play quarterback. I'm gonna play receiver. So this whole summer, I transitioned from being a quarterback to a receiver. So that's what I've been working on. And so it's not saying I couldn't have did it, but it's kind of like playing baseball, man. Like you play for that season and then you sit out a year or two, you're gonna be very, very, very rusty. That ball coming into the batter's box is a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, like, yeah, bro, just it was easier for me to transition to be a returner and a receiver than it probably would have been for me to stay a quarterback.
Right.
And I'm honestly, and I can't sit here and say that um I don't I feel like I could have probably been a great DB as well. Um, but that's just me and how I feel. But I've had a lot of people tell me, Cam, you should have switched to the defensive side and you would have been a first round draft pick, being a 6 foot corner, and bro, you're bigger than most corners, which I am. But at the same time, man, it's not that I didn't like the dark side of the ball. Um, my uncle was paralyzed in high school in a semifinal state championship game. And um, he was my father figure growing up. Although I had a stepdad, I had a biological father, but my uncle was my true father figure. That's who I looked up to. That's who I looked for mentorship, for advice, for whatever, man. Girl advice, life advice. I called my uncle. And I still do. I still do to this day, man. I call him just to tell him he's ugly. Like that's my guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and everybody who knows anything about Texas high school football knows who my uncle is. His name was Dante Eccles, and he was in the year 1999 and 2000. He was a 6'2" corner.
Mm.
Before any Sauce Gardner or Tariq Woolen or whether before those guys were here, that's what my uncle was. And man, he had offers from every Power Five team that you could ask for. But man, he was one of those guys that he'd rather hit you than cover you.
Mm.
And so, being that he got paralyzed from hitting a guy, and he only the doctors asked him, how much ability do you want to regain, through this process, through these surgeries. And he might call me and correct me after he watches the interview, but I believe he had 9 surgeries, and he was only able to obtain 77 to 82% usage in his right arm. And so, yeah, man. And so, just being a young kid, being 5 years old, being in the stand, sitting on the, and now I know you've seen a lot of the pictures where like I'm praying at a certain yard line, and it doesn't look like I'm past the 30, but I'm sitting on the 29. That's because that's the yard line my uncle was injured at.
Wow.
And that's the yard I was sitting at in the stands watching. Well, no, I'm sorry, not in the stands, but that's where I was sitting at on the bleacher because I was a ball boy for Ennis High. And so I like no like none of the like at that time when he was playing, all the trainers they never let me actually stand on the field. They would stand me up on the bleacher so I could see over everybody. So I was standing on the 29-yard line and I watched him get hurt on the 29-yard line. So before every game, I go to the 29-yard line, and I ask our man above, and I ask my uncle for guidance, protection, and peace. And so, man, that prompted me to why I didn't play defense.
Mm.
Was that, and also because I'm deadly with the ball in my hands. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to have the ball in my hands every second, and that's why I played quarterback, because I can control it. But man, I didn't. It was easy to return the ball. It was very easy for me to watch the fly the ball, catch it, and make somebody miss, because that's what I did growing up. Being all we played in the neighborhood was throw 'em up, bust 'em up, and that's all punt return and kick return is. It's throw 'em up, bust 'em up. But man, I didn't become a receiver until my senior year at Western Kentucky. Honestly, like bro, I didn't know nothing about breaks. I didn't know nothing about releases. I didn't know nothing while I was at TCU. That's why like I don't. I think I maybe caught like less than 15 balls at TCU.
Mm.
And I was just a gadget guy, but that just shows you the athletic ability I had at TCU. Was I even played corner for a whole spring at TCU because we had corners that got injured and we had so many receivers. But you see what that led me to, back to playing receiver. You know what I'm saying? But
Guy on defense, like, hey, just give us a look, and you're just going out there, you're freaking making plays on.
no, like I know, like I literally told. But the thing is, like, no, that's not even the thing. Like I think it was. I think it's actually news articles saying that I'm switching from receiver to corner.
Oh,
And that was a true thing. Like I was, bro, because I didn't see myself. We had so many guys at TCU, bro. I didn't see myself getting plugged in at receiver at that time because we had literally 3 guys deep at every position.
right.
And not saying I couldn't compete or I couldn't fight for a number 1 or 2 spot, but it was the things that were going on at that time. That's not how it was going to play out for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I told Coach P, hey man, I want to play. I want to be on the field. And I've watched Coach P turn receivers or turn a quarterback or a running back into a DB. And I know I can do it. And so, but it was one of those things where, man, if I would have had a whole spring and a whole summer, I'd have been perfectly fine. But I didn't just have enough time to transition, so they moved me right back to receiver, which is fine. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. But yeah, man, just yeah, man. I was a Paul Ulrich finalist. I was a nominee Paul Ulrich finalist as a punt returner. Man, and like I said, I believe if I'm not mistaken, that year, because freshman year, Ryan Switzer won it, and I was the All American behind him. I think he got first team All American. I was the one behind him. And then the second year, if I'm not mistaken, my guy Dory Jackson won
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Uh,
and
corner from USC, wasn't he? Yeah.
yep. And yeah, man, one thing you gonna know about me, Key, bro, I am a football geek. Like I can sit here and probably tell you like what guys went to high school, college, and played in the NFL. Like I can go back for years. I can go like from my class to classes that's been after me. Like when it comes to football, bro, I'm a baby Einstein. Like it for some reason it just doesn't leave my brain.
Well, off the record,
So
that may look like I got the face of a kid that's missing on the back of a milk carton, but deceivingly, I'm 23 years old and I got little bit of humor, not only a sense of humor, but I do have a little bit of a literacy in terms of some NFL talk. So I mean, I look, dude, I love talking shop on
call you a Gerber baby.
right, yeah, baby face. But no, yeah, TCU, man, it's got to be like, I guess that's. Would you agree that that's like almost like the turning point or like the turning point of Cam? Like what I guess if you were to list out sort of like a chapter book, what is that's like the start of I don't know. I mean like that I feel like that's a very significant just point in your life where it's like now, you make obviously you would and we'll get into it. You go to Arkansas State and then you go to Western Kentucky
Well,
and
look, let's back up. Let's back up because we didn't mention this. I was a Big 12 long jump champion.
yes, yes. Let's get to the track. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah, and but that's the thing, bro, because
No pun
I
intended.
had more all I no, all good, bro, all good. Like I had more status on the track than I did on the football field.
Right.
Like
Right.
I had more clout on the track and more love than I did on the football field. And I believe that that kind of I wouldn't say drove the the agony or the pain for me to really just kind of leave, but we can get into that here in a second. But man, like it was just so easy being a football player, transitioning to track and knowing that all these little skinny cats can't rock with me on this track. And now, mind you, it was me, Jordan Moore, and Kobe. Listen to me. We all ran track, bro, and we all did numbers. Like when I say we did numbers, like we made sure you knew who we were when we stepped on the track. Like, yeah, you knew who Trayvon Burmel is. Yes, you knew who Devin Allen was. Yes, you knew who Caleb Thunderberg was. Like, you knew who all these great All American track athletes were. But you knew when them three football cats from TCU walked on the track, it was game over. It was meet over. You might as well get back on the bus and chart it back home. Like, because, bro, like, we literally, like, you can ask anybody, and I promise you, they can't sit here and just say we didn't. We put the fear of God, like the true fear, into these track cats.
I was going to mention a very important date from your track days was February 14th, 2014. I believe in the 200-meter dash, you recorded a 21 point, correct me if I'm wrong, 21.2 at the Tyson Invitational. That's 21.
Yeah, see, that's slow though, but that's slow. That's slow as hell. Like slow as hell. Because why would you say that, Keeg? Why would you let the people I ran 21 at college? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, but like, that's actually okay, that's actually really not slow. It's actually really fast being that it's indoor,
Yeah,
but
it's
but that's actually really fast. I like messing with you, bro. But actually I so well, how do I say this? That indoor season,
yeah.
I won Big 12s. I think I and bro, what's so crazy is they oh man, this is how you know people was hating on us. Like the officials at the laundromat, Mark, specifically, like, bro, I wish I could. If I had my other phone, I'll call my track head coach right now so he could tell you on the phone. They specifically messed up my mark
Oh,
in the pit, so they couldn't give me a like an official, like legitimate mark because they wanted somebody else to win. But bro, I jumped out the pit. Like I literally jumped out of the pit. Like when I landed, my butt hit the sand, but my feet hit the concrete.
oh, so you
Like
just what's the
Like,
same?
and that's a little statement. Like, he jumped out the pit. Like, I jumped out the pit, bro. And what's funny is they gave me an official mark, but 3 minutes later, they came back and said it was unofficial. Like, I jumped 20, my official, I jumped 26:10, which, cats who be jumping in the Olympics don't be jumping that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't speak track.
Marquise, yeah, bro. So the average for an Olympic jumper is like 26.6.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I jumped 26:10 as a sophomore in college.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, bro. And now fast forward, I think like 3 months later, the same exact place. We're in Ames, Iowa, but we're there for outdoor Big 12s. Man, I ran the fastest 200 time for a college football player who runs track. I don't think it's only been. I think it's been one person who's ran faster than that, and that's Buddy, who was at A&M this past year. What was his name? Acme at something like that. I
Hey,
can't think of his name, but he went.
oh no, no, no,
Who?
no, nope, 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 nope. I'm stupid. Nope, nope.
Oh, I thought he played running back and receiver. I think he was either number 6 or number 0. But I went 2030, bro, and yeah, that's if you go back and look at all the Olympic times, bro, like from the past Olympics, like the sixth, seventh, and eighth finisher, they've all been, if not slower, but around that time. So, like, yes, I had Olympic marks, Olympic times. I just, what I'm saying, never had to. And yes, I had two opportunities to go jump and try out for the Olympic team. I just never had the opportunity because of fall camp. So,
So I want to ask. You got me now. You got me asking questions on track. You're selling me. All right. So I live roughly 2 hours away, give or take about an hour and a half if I'm speeding down the highway, from Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is a hotbed for track and field. That's like one.
absolutely, that's the Tyson Invitational.
Yes. And so they are a very, very prestigious track school. I've been,
Hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
known. But you talk about, I guess, what what school or what individual brought out the best in Cam when it came to track and field. Like every single time I step on the turf, like I got to kick this dude's ass. Who was
So,
this person?
okay. Now this is just honest to God speaking, bro. This is really just one of them things where it's like being that I had so much success on the track,
Yeah.
I was able to create a whole alter ego for Cam, right?
Mhm.
Like it's Cam that you're talking to, it's Cam that my mom gets, everybody gets on a daily basis. But when you watched or saw me walk off that bus, off that plane, and walk onto the field or walk onto the track, you got a completely different cat. You know what I'm saying? And football camp is completely different from track camp, but they're one and the same. You know what I'm saying? Um, football camp will go to every track meet.
Okay.
So, and me saying that, um, I wasn't worried about a soul on that track.
Hmm.
I ain't care if you brought out Tyson Gay, if you brought out whoever. Um, I was gonna look in your eyes before we jumped. I was gonna look in your eyes before that gun went off, and I wasn't gonna say nothing. But you was gonna know. You was going to see me today. I couldn't sit there and say, "Are you gonna feel me today? You gonna have to guard me all game." Nah, but me letting you know, like I'm finna look you in your eyes, and I'm not about to break. I'm gonna make you look away first. I'm gonna make you get in those blocks and work on your starts first, or go down there and work on your penultimate step, or work on your landings. Like I'm gonna sit here and just so you know, I'm watching you,
Yeah.
and you about to be terrified. You're gonna be shaking in your blocks, or you are gonna have to scratch your first two jumps to get yourself mentally back right. So where by that time it's game over.
So not even at school, man. Not nothing.
I wouldn't, bro. Honestly, because you got to think about it, man. Like my track team at TCU was me, Ronnie Baker, Sam Watts, Kobe Listenby, like Jordan Moore. Ronnie Baker is an Olympian. Kobe is a draft pick to the Buffalo Bills. Jordan Moore is, I want to say, two-time Big 12 champion, three-time SEC champion. You know, he has stints with the Broncos and Falcons. Dude is a 6'4", 230-pound hurdler.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he played for the Stars in the inaugural season. That was number 30, the linebacker.
Okay.
If you that's Jordan Moore.
I'm.
Imagine him on the track.
You know what? You've inspired me. I'm gonna go back tonight and I'm gonna watch Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for number 30. Right? That's
Bro, you don't even got to do that. Go to YouTube and type in Jordan Moore track and field and just watch it. Bro, he looks like a freaking Hulk compared to all these little trees. Bro, and that's the thing. Like we specifically made a pact. We was like, bro, they want to call us track guys. Okay, that's cool. How about we bring this same, excuse my language, this same dog shit mentality we have on this field and bring it to the track? And how about I say, I bet you, I remember me saying this. I said, I bet you they gonna fold.
yeah.
Bro, we used to watch guys fold in their blocks. We used to watch guys fold in the middle of a race. Like, and you said not a team. Okay. I will say this. There was one team, but it wasn't a guy or a person. It was just a team who we would go back and forth with, and it was Arkansas.
Yep.
But you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I want to say it was my sophomore year, and we had regionals at Randall State, that's Texas, at UT. And regionals, I think we won the 4x1. And we go to prelims of NCAAs, and I think our time was faster than Arkansas. No, we won prelims against Arkansas. Yeah, we won prelims because we were in the same heat. We go to finals, and they got us.
Damn.
Oh, they got us. They got us. But the thing is, it was one of them things, bro, where it was like we would get them, they would get us. We would get them, they would get us. We would get them, they would get us. And it was always one leg. You know what I'm saying? It was never the whole team just was slow. It was always one leg, man. And so like it was, bro. If I could say one team, I would give them the one team. It would be Arkansas. But Arkansas definitely had our number a few times, man. But we got them a few times as well.
Yeah. Well, you speak of Arkansas, and that was you segued yourself. You walked right into it. Damn it. So
Yeah, I did.
hey, we'll touch on it and then we'll switch. All right. All right. So you talk about at the conclusion of your freshman year. I don't really know. I didn't do a deep dive into what might have transpired or what kind of, you know, resulted in this decision. And maybe
Mhm.
elaborate on that. It's fine if not. But you make the decision to go to Arkansas State or transfer to Arkansas State in 2014. And before I forget, because I'm gonna literally forget after this topic, real quick. No, I'll save it for later. It'll be one of the last topics we talk about. But anyway, so 2015, Arkansas State, you transfer. Um, yeah, kind of take me through that process of going to Arkansas State, choosing Arkansas State, and what kind of led up to that decision. And you don't really have to get into too much detail on your time at Arkansas State, but yeah, just briefly describe that stop in your journey.
You know what, Key? I think I know we just previously said that we wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm done running from it, man. I think it's time folks know.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's time for me to just to 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 air it out. You know what I'm saying? Like let the air out.
Yeah, man.
Um, so I left TCU. I left TCU, and the story is I left TCU to go play quarterback.
Mhm.
That is 80% true.
There is
There
another.
is 100%. There's truth behind that, but that is not the whole truth. That's just what me and Coach P agreed on to tell the media, and that was the easiest thing for them to believe. And um, it's not a lie. It's not a lie because I did. I left TCU to try to go play quarterback again at Arkansas State. We can touch on that in a second, but man, truthfully, I left TCU because it was a lot of turmoil, bro. It was a lot of you kind of said it earlier. TCU was a turning point for Cam, right? Um, man, it was a huge turning point in my career and in my life. I went from being a backup to a known name guy, right? I went from being a known name guy to a dual sport known name guy, an All American in both. So, not saying I was asking or needing or demanding that respect. I wasn't, but we just me and my other track teammates who played football, we were we were honestly, bro, we were being very we were getting belittled every day, every time we came back to the football field.
Mm.
Like we would get talked about, we would get made fun of, and it's not by our teammates because our teammates were the number one supporters. Like, and not saying or saying none of the coaches supported us because, bro, my stepdad bent over backwards. My stepfather bent over backwards for us. Like he made sure what I'm saying, make sure the football media team supported us, like everything, bro. It was just we had a few coaches on the football side, bro, that honestly, man, they couldn't fathom the fact that they had guys on the offensive side who were having a little bit more success individually on the track rather than having success as a football team as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, I had an incident at a practice one day, and me and a coach, we got into a little smelling each other's breath.
Mhm.
I'm trying to see what type of gum he's chewing, trying to see what type of gum I'm chewing incident. And that's what prompted me to leave. It wasn't solely that I was trying to play quarterback. It was, we had too many trying to figure out what gum you're chewing, what gum I'm chewing instances. You know what I'm saying? And we had one too many, I'm finna come to your office and we're finna come talk and figure this out. It just, nothing was working, nothing was going. So we ended up, me and my stepdad, we ended up just saying, hey man, it's probably time for you to just to part ways. And honestly, it was probably one of the worst decisions I can sit here and say it was probably one of the worst decisions I could ever make in my life. Do I regret it? No. But if I could go back in time and change it, I don't know if I would change it, but I would definitely go about things differently.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And because man, that was a huge lesson for me, bro, and just to that was a huge lesson for me to not only understand people but understand myself. And yeah, man, and that honestly, that's the reason that how I left off at TCU is probably why Arkansas State did not work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll just roll right into it, bro. So you ain't gotta ask nothing. I roll right into it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I left Arkansas State. I left TCU to go to Arkansas State, and yes, the number one rule of me picking a college still applied. I wasn't coming unless you allowed me to run track and play football.
Mhm.
So my redshirt season there, I did not play football. I ran track. But that redshirt year, I was there playing quarterback. I was a scout team quarterback on the team, and I was transitioning to be the starter that next year. But you know, just being just having the little you can call it BS that I was going through or had going on leaving TCU. I carried that on my heart going to Arkansas State.
The
I never just sat there and said, okay, these coaches are not here at Arkansas State. Those coaches are not at TCU. This is a whole new fresh start. Like, yeah, me and my parents said it's a fresh start, but I didn't. Bro, honest to God, I went there for blood.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm finna come here. I'm finna make the fact that TCU didn't just sit here or I. I mean, just okay. I want to make sure that when I stepped on the field at Arkansas State, that the coaches who prompted me to leave knew that that was the worst decision that they ever made, which was by far the worst mindset you could ever have. You know what I'm saying? Because not only did I build bad relationships with coaches there from day one, bro, I was doing the same, trying to see what gum you chewing at TCU that I was doing at Arkansas State from day one, bro. And I don't tell people this a lot, but all my teammates at Arkansas State, they can contest to this. I was a great football player there. I was a horrible teammate and a horrible guy there. Only because, not even only because, but solely because I never should have left TCU. I never should have rushed my process of finding a school so quickly. So I never should have allowed outside noise, outside factors determine who I am and what I do.
Did you
You
feel
know what I'm saying?
real quick?
I'm listening.
I hate to cut you off, but did you sense like a kind of a little bit of pressure going into the Arkansas State situation? Like, man, if this like doesn't work out, like, that this is going to make me like, I don't know how it's going to have an impact. It may have a bad impact on my career. Cause I feel like from what you're telling me, like in your mind, it's just got to be like there for me personally, I would say there's a little bit of pressure. And some people they might think, well, I would think it's the quite opposite. But like, you're kind of bitter towards the previous school that you were just at, and and now you are kind of setting this preliminary expectation for yourself, like I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna kill it. I don't give a damn what anybody else is doing. Like my goal is I am, as you said, out for blood. And so I just feel like, does that come with the territory of pressure? And what is that? What is this? What is the impact on your mental going through that at Arkansas State? Because I feel like it's
I'm about to tap. That's what's crazy. I'm about to tap right into that because what's crazy is, man, pressure. You know what I'm saying? Pressure builds diamonds. You know what I'm saying? You either finna build a diamond or you finna bust like a pipe. But the thing is,
gotcha.
What's crazy is, bro, both of those things happened.
Yeah.
A pipe busted, but a rose grew from the concrete right up under it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just so funny because the saying, everything falls apart before something great happens.
I'm going through that right
That's bro, you and I both, but that's the exact thing that happened, bro. So like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind speaking and talking about the experience because it is an experience, it's a lesson learned. But my first day at Arkansas State, bro, I was late to a meeting. I was late to a quarterback meeting. And I believe I got in trouble with campus police my first day.
That was
You know
cool.
what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not even there for 24 hours and I'm already in some bull. You know what I'm saying? So my first day set up almost 2 years at Arkansas State.
I'd like to consider myself a sports memorabilia connoisseur. I mean, if you watch the podcast on YouTube, you look behind me, you see I got all the Broncos memorabilia, the Baker Mayfield jersey. It's a little bit disorganized, but don't hold it against me. Nevertheless, I just have a deep appreciation for memorabilia because I feel that each piece tells a tremendous story and conveys a lot about a team's history. But when I arrived at the USFL last season, contributing as one of their on-site social media producers, I was quickly introduced firsthand to one of the leading clothing brands, not only within the USFL, but in leagues such as the Canadian Football League, the Arena Football League, Minor League Baseball, National Basketball Association, and those are just to name a few. This brand has propelled themselves and cemented themselves as the leaders in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to share that Strive Sports Podcast, Strive Sports Productions, has teamed up with the leader in USFL merchandise, Royal Retros. From hats and jerseys to t-shirts and replica football helmets, they've got everything. Royal Retros has become a pioneer in paying homage to classic sports teams. And whether you are a fan of basketball, baseball, football, or even hockey, Royal Retros has something for everyone. As a matter of fact, with the holiday season just right around the corner, get ahead on your shopping list right now and head on over to their website. As a matter of fact, get your phone out and you can scan the bottom left QR code located in the bottom left corner of the screen, and it'll prompt you and take you over to the Royal Retros website. Once there, feel free to peruse the site. They've got everything: basketball, baseball, hockey, football. Like I said, one of the best, if not the best, in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia. And once you're at checkout, go ahead and use promo code STRIVE. That's promo code STRIVE, STRIVE. Save yourself 10% on your next purchase with them. A great way to support the leaders in defunct team merchandise and memorabilia, and a great way to support the show. Big shout out to Royal Retros for partnering with us and allowing us to join them on this opportunity.
You know what I'm saying? And you talk about pressure, bro. I didn't feel the pressure until the day that I was sitting in a jail cell at Craighead County in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
My goodness, man. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, going to Arkansas, bro, I was looked at like the prodigal transfer, the prodigal son. Oh, he's coming here to change our program around. Oh, he's coming here to take over the reins for Freddie Knight and blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And man, if I could just not even ask, but if I could just go back to that first meeting with Coach Anderson and Coach Taylor when I first got to Jonesboro after the fall camp scrimmage, I think the only thing I would have asked was, are you guys going to allow me to be Cam? Being the free, kind-hearted, just want to laugh Cam. Like, I don't care about no schematic. I don't care about nothing but being happy and playing football with my guys. Now, don't you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Like, my guys who know me, they know how I am outside the field. They know how I am on the field. I'm the type of guy outside the field, bro. The whole team can come over and we can vibe the whole game, the whole day after practice. Like, and that can be how we are every day. Like, that's who I am. My house is open to all my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of guy that, like, if I got an extra room where my couch is open, you ain't got nowhere to stay, bro. Why are you asking me? Just come go to sleep. That's the type of guy I am. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I always had teammates over, bro. So, man, just going back, like, I never felt the pressure because I thought it was who I needed to be at that time. I thought I needed to be the asshole. I thought I needed to be the guy who didn't let nobody talk to him no type of way or didn't let nobody do anything to him. Like, I'm standing on all 10. I'm standing on business. If you say something wrong to me, I'm saying something. I don't care what. I'm coming back with a rebuttal. And that's what led me to be the horrible teammate, the horrible guy that I was at Arkansas State, because I let everything that happened to me at TCU just roll over to Arkansas State. You know what I'm saying? And I never allowed myself to, not I want to say heal, but forgive what happened. And it wasn't even, I didn't even have to forgive because there wasn't even anybody that did anything morally wrong to me. They just didn't understand who I was as a person. They also didn't understand me as a football player, because Cam, who you're talking to now, is two completely different people from Cam on the football field. No. Like I told you, that me being a track athlete helped me create an alter ego who I can put away on the shelf when I go home, and who I take off the shelf and put on when I go to practice. You know what I'm saying? So, like that time at Arkansas State, that's why I don't like to speak about it. That's why I kind of asked you not to speak about it. But, like, bro, forget it. Like, it's at some point in time, I'm either gonna have to speak about it or somebody's gonna backdoor me and ask me some questions I'm not ready for. You know what I'm saying? So I might as well go ahead and clear the air now, because yeah, man, like I was a great athlete there. Yeah, I caught 40 some balls for 400 yards, I think one touchdown, and I was a preseason Sunbelt this. I think I was like a preseason 13 receiver or something as a returner. But man, I never honestly like I never should have TCU. I never should have rushed the process. But then again, I also never would have figured out who Cam really was if I never would have been sitting in that jail cell. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Like I sat there and I like when I say when you asked about the pressure, bro, I felt them four walls closing in on me so quick and so fast that I freaked I freaked out, bro. And I didn't freak out because I was in jail. I didn't freak out because I knew my football career could have been ended. I freaked out because I just sat there for 30 minutes and I rewatched and replayed every moment from TCU until now. And I'm just sitting there like, you led yourself here.
mm,
This is nobody else's doing but yours.
yeah,
You you can't sit here and point the fingers at nobody. You caused this. You allowed your ego to go from an alter ego to who you are on an everyday basis. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I've never said this, bro, but of course I came out with a post and I apologize to everybody out there with, but I never sat here and really just talked about it to the point to where it's like I've always owned my faults and owned what I did, but I never sat here and just talked about it to the point to where like my coaches, my support staff, my teammates, Arkansas State truly knew like, um, yeah, like, and I hate bringing this up, but they had a vote at one time of the year, and um, they voted me the cancer of the team at Arkansas State.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And that's very emotional for me to say because, bro, that's the worst thing you could be on a football team is the problem.
yeah.
The worst thing you could be is be that little tick on a dog's body that you can't get off. And that's what I was voted as, bro, was the cancer of the team. Like, how is the best athlete on the team, your best player, your cancer? It wasn't because I was going out every day getting in trouble. Yeah, I might have got arrested twice, but bro, half that team was arrested at one point. Like literally, they called Jonesboro, they called Arkansas State crackhead football team because half that team was in jail at some point. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can't sit here and say it was all me. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I am owning my own faults and what I did. But to be named the cancer of the team, bro, like that's when the pressure hit me. You know what I'm saying? That's when I realized it was way bigger than just me getting in trouble, getting arrested. It was way bigger than the charges I had. It was way bigger than my mom being disappointed and my coaches being disappointed. Bro, I just let down. I just proved a lot of people right at TCU. I just let down a lot of people at TCU who looked up to me and still had my back. I just proved a lot of people right at Arkansas State that I was what they said I was when I got there. And I also let down everybody who had my back and vouched for my name at Arkansas State. You know what I'm saying? So not only did I feel the pressure, but I felt the weight of two schools, two cities, two states on me. And yeah, man, like I was not prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be a 4-year starter at a high school, it's a prestige high school. You could go through all the glories and success I went through and not feel not 1 inch of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, nothing bothered me until I sat in that jail cell and I realized you could have did all this so much differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that alone, that alone was the biggest lesson of it all. It wasn't going to Arkansas State. It wasn't playing there. It was sitting in that jail cell, bro, and rewatching every mistake, every good thing you did, that should have been a mistake, just replaying, and just sitting in myself. And bro, there's not a mirror in jail. That's what people don't understand. There's no mirrors in jail.
Mm,
But if you stare at that wall long enough, you're gonna see yourself in that white wall.
mm. Phew,
You know what I'm saying?
that's powerful.
Yeah, you feel me? So like looking at myself in that white wall for 30 minutes, bro, it was just like you got a choice. You got one choice, one option. You can come out of here and be exactly who they're going to say you are and not prove them wrong, or you're about to come out this and a rose is going to grow from the concrete, and you about to diamonds about to shine. And it got a lot worse for me than before it got better. And this is a part of the story I've never told anybody or even bring up. But 2 days after I got out of jail, I was right back in cuffs.
Mm.
I was 2 seconds away from catching a whole nother charge. And I was already suspended. I was already kicked off the team, but I was 2 seconds away from being completely dismissed from Arkansas State alone and having to be sent back home to Dallas.
Okay.
Like, but you know, some things happened. I'm not going to speak about it, but some things happened, and the cuffs were taken off, and I was able to go home. But man, that situation alone is what prompted me to become a grad transfer, and that's what caused me to ultimately to leave Arkansas State. Was not me being arrested. It was the incident that nobody knows or I spoke about after me being arrested.
I, I honestly don't know what to say because I feel like just I first and foremost, I thank you for sharing that story and for your vulnerability and being able to express your feelings and your because that's something that I don't think a lot of athletes bother to even and I say this in the nicest way possible. This league is filled with a lot of stories of people that are on their second and third chances, and they come from backgrounds where either it be injury, there's so many setbacks. It's diverse in that
Mm-hmm.
sense, but those stories are often concealed, and they play with that motivation rather than express that. But I mean, I could say so many cliches to that, like, there is beauty in the struggle. But one thing that I was that came to mind was, that moment where you decided to transfer from TCU to Arkansas State. Yeah, if it ain't a blessing, it's a lesson. So,
Man, and you know what they say: the grass ain't always greener on the other side.
right. No,
And
um,
and this is why I made up a new saying behind that. The grass may not be greener, but who says it's actually grass? It could be turf. Make the best of what you got.
that's it. They
You know what
can.
I'm saying? And yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like life, the things I've been through in life, the things that I've done, is the only reason why I can sit here and I can make a comment like that. Because, bro, I got arrested. I was basically charged like I was a kingpin. You know what I'm saying? It just so like, and the thing like nobody knows that. So this is another story nobody knows. When I was getting admitted into jail, getting thing like my charges were dropped the second I walked into Craighead County.
Mm.
The judge wasn't told. The officers who arrested me, they were still processing me. Like nobody was told that my charges was dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I had like 6 different charges, but my last charge was a speeding ticket warrant. That's why I got
Arrest.
prompted to be arrested. You know what I'm saying? But so, if y'all want to know, you know what I'm saying, the real reason behind it, just look it up and you can find it. If you want to ask me questions about it, you can. But I just don't feel like getting into it because it's very emotional, man. But
No, it's fine.
yeah, bro, like the speeding ticket was the only thing I had to bond out of when I actually got to jail. Like all my other charges was gone. They was dropped. Like didn't have to worry about them. So, I'm like, okay, bet I'm about to get out. Man, if y'all don't understand anything about speeding ticket warrants, if it's not in that county or wherever you are, that county is coming to get your ass. Like, bro, I got extradited 2.5 hours from one county to a whole nother county, meaning I got moved from one jail to another jail. Like, like when you be on the highway and you see like the white vans or like the white buses that has inmates.
Yeah.
I was in that white van, bro, by myself with shackles on. And the most um, messed
Hey,
up part about the story.
for the speeding ticket. That's what it was. That that's
But now listen to this, bro. Like, and my voice is kind of cracking because, bro, like I still like sometimes I still get emotional about this because it's like, how do you say this to a 22, 23-year-old kid? Like, I'm getting pulled out of the holding cell, right? And I see two, I'm talking about two big, I'm talking about these dudes could have played left tackle for Arkansas, big sheriffs. You know what I'm saying? They walk in and they're like, we're here to get Echols. I'm like, I'm thinking I'm finna get bonded out, finna go home. No, I'm finna get moved. So I'm looking at them and I see them pull out these chains, bro. Like, if you know anything about the chain gang, like, bro, they got chains around their hips, around their arms, and around their feet. Like, I'm real deal about to get put in shackles, bro. And um, yeah, bro. So he was like, he says, step forward. And I step forward. He's like, okay, turn around, face the wall, put your knees on the wall. And I was like, he was like, put your knees on the bench and face on the wall. So basically, like, you're sitting on your knees on this bench, but your face is facing the wall and your feet are hanging off, right? And my hands are behind my back. And this is all I hear. I keep ha ha ha. We wouldn't be putting shackles on you if you wasn't the fastest man in college football.
dude, dude. You got to be kidding me,
My, bro, I can't tell you what I said because it's I let out some choice words,
yeah.
but that was just the like in my head it was like, okay, so if you know who I am, can we just make this process as quick as possible and not make me feel any worse than I already do?
Yeah.
Like I'm already torn down to the T. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already at my lowest. But the fact that you want to sit here and tell and say you're putting shackles on a black kid because he's the fastest kid in college football, like you know
Dude,
what I'm saying? Like that's not only is that morally like defeating, bro, that's racially defeating. You know what I'm saying? Because you're sitting here telling me because I'm the fastest player in college football, because I'm black, because I play football, and I'm here in jail, you're gonna put these shackles on me so I can't run away. Bro, I can't run away, period. If I wanted to, I'm in jail.
that's,
Like I'm in the middle of the woods. Where the hell am I gonna run to? If I was around here, y'all are gonna shoot me dead regardless. You know what I'm saying?
that's
So it you
harsh.
know what I'm saying? Like them are all the things I'm thinking. Them are all the things I'm thinking about in that 30-second period. I'm just like, and I just looked at him. I said what I said, and I kind of put my face back on the wall. And the first thing I said, you know what? Yep. I said I'm gonna make. I said I literally told myself, I said, yeah, I'm gonna make a story out of this. I said whether it's a great story, whether it's a author's best selling, I said I'm gonna make a story out of this because at some point in time, there's gonna be a kid who's coming up and he's going to need this story. There's going to be some point in time where there's going to be somebody in college who's about to go to the NFL, and he needs somebody to tell him, bro, I've been in the exact same shoes. I was sitting in the exact same cell. I was sitting in the exact same the back of the cop car as you. But this is how what I'm saying. This is how I came about it. Or this is what this is how it made me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just so funny because so I get extradited, bro, and I'm in a whole county like 2 hours away, bro. And I walk in and it's three ladies, bro. I can so I can't remember their names. I can't remember what they look like, but it's three ladies in there who are running the desk, and they look at me, and I'm just like, what? Like, and they said, "Aren't you Cameron Echols-Luper, the receiver from Arkansas State?" And bro, instantly I just started crying. Like I haven't cried yet in this entire time that I've been in jail. And I just started crying because somebody just recognized me from playing football that they just watched on TV, or they probably came to the game and they recognized me. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if y'all do that, I was the fastest player in college football. You put shackles on me, brought me to this jail. All three of these ladies know me. I can only imagine what's going on this outside world.
Hmm.
I can only imagine what my phone is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just imagine. Like, I can't even imagine what the news is talking about because I know it's broke Twitter. I know it's broke the news. I know it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what made me cry because it was like I don't want people to sit here and think I'm a kingpin. Like I'm not. No, I I didn't get caught with pounds of marijuana. I didn't get caught with pounds of cocaine. I didn't get caught with no scales. I didn't get caught with baggies. I got caught with literally. I'm gonna go ahead and break the ice. What I got caught with was marijuana that was you could tell that was dusted off of my leg from you know what I'm saying. Me, of course, rolling the joint. You could tell like you there was what do you call it? Gargut paraphernalia just sprinkled on the floor that you could tell fell out the ashtray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell that there were baggies like that I didn't ripped up because I didn't got a gram or two from the plug and I didn't throw it somewhere in the car. Like that's what I got caught with. But because I was in Arkansas, because of who I was, because of the athlete I was, the car I drove, they said that the sprinkled weed that was, bro, you couldn't even make a doobie out of it. They said the sprinkled weed was a pound of marijuana. Okay. Now I just want you to remember all this. Okay. They said that was a pound of marijuana. Okay. They said that the baggies were all baggies that you got from a smoke shop to say that I'm about to put weed in to sell. Okay. They said that they found a scale in my car. Bro, they found a calculator that didn't even have freaking batteries in it.
Oh,
Okay. Now I'm finna tell you number four. This is what's about to get you. Remember I said before I didn't get caught with cocaine, right? Okay. I had a pound bag of Sour Patch Kids from CVS that I was taking to class as a project where I was on my way to when I got arrested. I was on my way to class.
not the Sour Patch.
And bro, yes, that was my project was to bring candy to class, which I brought a pound bag because bro, it's 20 well, we finna eat this all. Yeah, okay. Bro, they poured the sugar in my armrest and said it was cocaine.
He had pounds on him for their
I
sour.
had a pound of sugar, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So I get out of so now mind you, I think I got arrested like two something. I got extradited at like 6:37 that night. I got to the next jail at like 9 or 10, mind you, okay? I'm up all day, up all night. I told myself I'm not going to sleep until I get out. Like I don't know what's going on here. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not eating. Like none of that's happening.
Yeah.
Um but my bond was set at 5 o'clock
A.M. P.M.
PM. I got for me it got set an hour before I got extradited. But they decided to not refresh their computers to see if there was a bond set for me, is what they told me when I went to court the next day. So me getting extradited was just for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I got extradited for no reason.
Bro.
So my people had to buy or pay for a whole nother bond for the next county, which that bond got, I got bonded out real quickly. Um, And I come in. I wish I knew these ladies' names because they they were probably the nicest jail clerks I've ever been with or spoken to in my life. Because I guess, man, you never know who's watching. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess they've watched me sign autographs for kids. Just interact with people at their games, and they just automatically just was like, he is not who y'all are deeming him to be. He is a good kid. He has a good heart. He's just in a bad situation. So they treated me like I was their son, bro. Like one of the ladies gave me her lunch, like literally gave me her lunch, and so I could eat because she knew I wasn't about to eat. She gave me her lunch. Like they knew I walked in there like I was on my way to class, so I think I had a tank top on and some shorts and some flip flops. Bro, they brought me socks, they brought me clothes, they brought me a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't do that for somebody who's in jail.
I if I
You know
if I,
what I'm saying?
I may interject, you talk about that, and Cam, I know you're deep in your faith. I'm deep in mine. I feel like that's kind of a sign of God, if I can be honest.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
In
and I didn't look at it like that then.
yeah, that's
Like I didn't. I didn't at all, bro. Like there, you could have asked me at that time, like, Cam, is that not a sign? I would have been like, a sign from what? From who? I said, no, these are just good people. Like that's what I looked at it as, you know what I'm saying? But I was so caught up in my own like egotistical self that I couldn't sit there and say, nah, man, he's looking out for me. Like he's trying to like God is literally he gave me a whooping, then he said and said, okay, let's go get ice cream. That's literally what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like literally like the literal sense, that's what he did, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he humbled me, but at the same time he was like, okay, like I'm not saying he did this, but like I might have did a little too much, or I might allow them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he can't control what everybody does. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, bro, like I like now, like, yes, bro, that was a sign from God to say, like, okay, like you're not supposed to be here, Cam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you were one, you're not supposed to be in this jail. You're not supposed to be in Arkansas, bro. Like this is not where you belong. This is not where you're supposed to be. And so yeah, man, I came out of there. I did my little community service. You know what I'm saying? I did my due diligence. I did what I needed to do, and I graduated. And that's what you know. And it was a rough process for me to find another school because um, you know I had a lot of not even say a lot. I had a few people really throwing me under the bus from that university, and so. Um, Yeah, man, I almost had to go. Not even saying it's a bad route, but I almost committed to Alabama State when I left Arkansas State.
Mm.
And when I say almost, meaning like, you see how close my fingers are touching already, like that little empty space. I was that close, like meaning I was already there on a visit, and I was about to commit before, like, if WKU went a call within those 30 seconds, I was about to commit.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so, yeah, bro, like that's what I'm saying. And and this is when I say like it was another huge sign because I was gonna be right back in the same position that I was at Arkansas State, if not worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it has no knack to Alabama State, no knack to Montgomery, but that just wasn't the best. That was not going to be a good option or the best option for me. If anything, it was going to be a very bad decision.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that also would have been the only decision I had. So, like I said, if the grass ain't green on the other side, how you know it's not? How you know it's grass? It could be turf. You got to make the best of what you can. You got to make the best of what you have. And so I was about to make the best of what I had. If I had to go to Alabama State, it just so happened that that's not where he wanted me, and I had to, and I had to follow where he wanted me, man. And yeah, man, I committed, and I was at WKU within, I think, 12 hours for me being at Alabama State. Like, I left Alabama State and flew straight to WKU.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
What? So, I mean, as far as you want to go into that, I mean, you have chapter one, chapter two, and then chapter three. And obviously, God's going to put you in a situation where he wants you to best succeed. Obviously,
Man,
you went through your hardship, and hopefully there was lessons taken from it, and he was able to cultivate, a more obedient Cam, and a more, rather than
hmm
complacent, the opposite of complacent. Yeah, I mean, talk about that backstretch of your collegiate career and what Western Kentucky did for young Cam and how it matured him into Camden.
man, and it's just funny because this story just gets even more complicated. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I graduated Arkansas State like August, like late August, but I was already at WKU that whole August. Like I was there on campus. Like I couldn't technically practice, but I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was there as soon as fall camp started. I was there. I don't think I got cleared until like that third to last week of fall camp. But man, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't already there or going to be there because that's where my heart was. But man, those 6 months at WKU was probably it. Those 6 months tops my 2.5 years at Arkansas State and TCU combined. They were the
Mm.
best 6 months of my college career I ever had. But it was mainly because I didn't have to worry about school, bro. I just played football strictly. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a grad transfer, and You couldn't get me to take one class. You couldn't for what? I did for what? But I said, man, look, I'm finna go to here and all the distractions are gonna be gone. I'm just gonna play football and say F it all. Like I'm here to play football. That's what's mainly important. Me getting to the end of like and I said that because I had to do so much soul searching to even want to play football again after I got arrested. I was like, bro, the only thing that matters is me playing football.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And so my first game, I don't think I ever had any stats my first like 3 or 4 games. But after my first game, that first practice after my first game, I broke my back. Well, I didn't break my back. I herniated a disc in my back. And I played the whole season with a herniated disc. And um that alone, me playing that whole season with a herniated disc, that is what made who I am today. That's what, because like if you go back and watch like some games from TCU and Arkansas State and WKU, I act the same, but I'm not who I was then as I am today. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the same. I'm in your face. I'm letting you know you can't guard me all game type of Cam then. Like, but breaking your back, having to reteach yourself how to walk, reteach yourself how to run, having to wait 6 months just to use the bathroom on your own, wait 9 months just to go number two on your own.
Mm.
Like it builds calluses. It builds. It created a new alter ego inside of me. It created a instead of me saying it's a dog, the dog shit in me. It created a real deal monster.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not a bad monster. It's a actually a monster that everybody loves, but it's the monster that I can only bring out for football. I can't bring him out right now. I can't bring him out when I go for birthday parties or you know what I'm saying? Like it's a monster that I solely I'm so adapted to that he knows there's only one time and one time only he's coming out. And that's when we strap up. But that's because I played a whole season less than 50%.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I play like, bro, I think I only practice maybe like 1 or 2 practices out the week during that whole season.
Wow.
Like, yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause after the game that Monday and two, like, you're off on Monday. That Tuesday and Wednesday, bro, I was so in pain. Like my back was so locked up that I couldn't move hardly. Like I want to say like every 3 weeks I went and got an epidural shot. So I think I got like 4 or 5 epidurals. There's an epidural shot with the shot that females get before pregnancy. Yes. Or before their birth. Yes. That's what I got. But I got the steroid version. So, but like they had to put me to sleep, I think like 4 times for it. And that happened 4 times during the season. Now, mind you, every 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to get a shot. So I'm going to get put to sleep Wednesday night. I'm going to get a shot. That Thursday, I can't practice.
Mm.
Friday, I'm there for the walkthrough. But the Friday is Fast Friday for me. So I'm having to run fast as hell doing the walkthrough just to show the trainers and coaches I'm playing. Saturday, guess who's suited up playing?
Yours truly.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that built a callus in my brain and in my heart to where it's like, bro, you played a whole year with a broken back. Ain't shit in this world, ain't a person, ain't a soul, ain't nobody that can stop you doing what you do. You just played a whole year with a broken back. What can stop you? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so I got to my last game, and everybody knows it. Mike White was my quarterback. That's my guy. I love you, Mike. Man,
Shout out to my
Mike is one. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And then one of my receiver coach was Junior Adams, who is the OC and receiver coach for Oregon right now.
Okay. Hey, there.
Okay, yeah, man. And then the one of the top trainers in America right now, Stephon Brown, who's their company is this year's personal TSP. They're out of Atlanta, so if y'all any young receivers in Atlanta, y'all looking for a receiver trainer, that's who y'all need to go to, Steph Brown or TJ. Man, bro, like that last game against FIU, I think I had no, I know what I had. I had 9 for like 111 because I remember being in the third quarter and I'm looking at the scoreboard and it said I had like 8 catches for like 80 some yards, which is so crazy because I told myself, I said, Cam, this might be your last collegiate game. Before I even knew this was my last collegiate game playing.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? And because I don't think I think we were bowl eligible with 6 wins or whatever. But bro, I knew I wasn't going to go to no bowl game. I didn't do that one class that whole year.
I hurt my back.
You know what I'm saying? But watch this though. But watch this, bro. That next series, okay. I'm at X, and I had a go ball, and I caught the ball, but I caught it like to where like my foot just grazed out of bounds. But I caught a cover two hole shot over the corner and over the safety. But when I caught it, the corner hit me in my stomach, and the safety hit me from behind the homo. And what they did was they squished me like a sandwich, and it cracked the herniation, and it broke my L5. So instead of me having a herniated L4, it cracked it. So now I got a cracked L4 and I got a cracked L5.
Hey,
So
does college football come with benefits like health package, or do they include that?
huh. I wonder where the NIL came from. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, like, yeah, bro. So, I was when that happened, like I remember getting hit and I remember saying, like, ugh, but that wasn't me. That was my gut. Like that was my gut's reaction. That wasn't me saying it. That
Oh,
was my gut like making a noise like, oh shit, like something's wrong. So I had just enough adrenaline to jog from their sideline to my sideline. And I remember like it was this morning, bro. I collapsed. My whole left side of my body went numb within 10, 15 seconds.
mm.
And yeah, bro. So, they carted me to the locker room. As soon as I get in the locker room, bro, like my fingers went numb. And you could tell like my fingertips were getting purple, my toes was getting purple. And like the team doctor came in, it was like, yeah, it was like it's surgery time. That was all they said. Like, and I from that moment on, like, bro, I was just in tears, bro, because it was like my college career is done. This is how I ended my college career. And being that I was paralyzed for that hour or two, the only thing I could think about was my uncle and
Mm.
how his playing career was ended with him being paralyzed, bro. And I'm not, bro, for those 2 hours, I thought that I was recreating his story. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I'm not gonna say that was the lowest time I've ever. That's probably one of the lowest I've ever been in my life, amongst some other times. But bro, just thinking that me knowing that I promised him that I'll finish off his career as a professional, and I'll make sure that I'll put an Echols in the NFL or even graduate or finish college, knowing that I just almost basically ended my career how his ended, bro, I couldn't live with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was tore up, bro. Like when I say I was tore up, like I don't. This will let you know how tore up I was. Okay, so a week later, I had surgery. Right on
Mm.
the day of surgery, I think I was like 200, 205 pounds.
Mm.
3 weeks later, I was 165.
God, dude, that's that's insane. Just like that's a culmination of not eating it and just
I was not only was I depressed, bro, like bro, I was more than depressed, bro. Like, it took so much out of me just to even wake up every morning after that. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, but through my faith, through the guidance of my mom, my people, bro. Like, I cried out of my little hole. You know what I'm saying? But not only did I crawl out of my little hole, that monster that I created
yeah.
jumped out. And I can't even say that I hate that he jumped out, because if he wouldn't have jumped out, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. But man, my recovery was a year and a half to like 3 years. That's how bad my break was. But me being the Cam I am, me being the person that I've always been able to recover very fast. I took a 9 month year process for me to start walking, and I turned that into me walking in a month, me running in 2 months, me participating, catching balls, and running a 40 in 3 months and 30 days at my pro day.
mm. Cam, that's awesome. That I mean, like
Yeah.
that's supernatural. That's insane.
It's unnatural, bro. I've never heard of anybody come from back surgery and your year recovery is supposed to be a year to 2 years, and you say fuck that. Excuse my language. You say fuck that, and you turn it into a month, 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah. No.
Like, and and honestly, like I can sit here and say yes, that is the 100% reason why I was not playing from 2001 or from 2020 to 2023 or 2022 when the inaugural season started. We didn't go back to 2019. I didn't play football from 2019 to 2022, and that is why, because that rush of the process came back and bit me in the ass.
Hmm.
So it set me down for 3 years. So, which hey, but like I said, man, that entire process is and what created me today.
Would you say it's the most humbling part, even with Arkansas State, that process alone at Western?
Because I mean, yeah, bro, it's everything in one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really think about it, I truly feel like that was his way of saying, "All right, I didn't, I didn't put this injury on you. That was remember I told you I was going to harp on the not having no vacation, no time off.
Yeah.
That's I'm not saying the injury came from that, but it came from that.
Right.
I never had time to rest my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that last year, Arkansas State, that was the only year I didn't run track.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But what time did I still have off? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, bro. Like that's kind of what helped and prompted the whole injury was that. But man, yeah, bro. That Arkansas State and the whole injury itself. That's what created who
Yeah.
I am today. That's what created the monster of Austin Ego that you see on the field every Saturday or Sunday.
That's that's awesome, dude. Like, thank you for sharing that entire story. And look, I apologize for keeping you for over an hour. I said it was going to
Bro,
be.
you good. I told you, bro. If it takes 1 hour, you good. I ain't got nothing to do.
Well, I have a few more questions for you as far as getting
Well, let's
into.
get it.
But I mean, I just got to give you kind of some flowers there, because that's, you don't hear
Appreciate
that.
it, bro.
And for you to just even talk about those trials and everything, it's just like, that there's an athlete that resonates with that right now as we're speaking. Like,
Hmm.
there's someone out there that is going through those trials, and it's really difficult mentally right now to continue through.
Absolutely. Yeah, bro. And like, it's funny that you say that because you know my little brother is going not through the exact same thing, but he's going through something similar. You know what I'm saying? Like, my little brother never had legal troubles, but my little brother, a lot of people don't know this, but you haven't heard anything about my little brother this year at Missouri at all. And then I'm not the one to sit here and tell my little brother's business, but he'll be back very soon. Don't worry. But he's going through a little trying time with himself, and because of health as well. So having me in his corner and knowing that, bro, it's all right to take some time off. So I'm glad my little brother took some time off, only because sometimes, bro, injuries are telling us more than what we know. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, if not saying the people in my corner, but if the people in my corner would have took what I had going on more serious, then maybe we could have talked about redshirting my senior year.
Right.
Take a medical redshirt or taking a year off after that surgery and coming back the next year and having pro day at TCU, because I was about to decide whether to have pro day at WKU or TCU, and I ultimately chose WKU because of Mike White.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not to say that Kenny Hill wasn't a good quarterback, but Mike White, Kenny Hill, what I'm saying? Like, I love Kenny to death. That's my guy. But I'm gonna catch balls from Mike White 7 days out of 7 days. Just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think the numbers speak for itself, but I'm gonna ride with Mike White before anything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just feel like there was I don't know how to say this, but I just feel like it wasn't taken as serious. But now that I have siblings who have gone through or going through similar trying times, um, yeah, man, I'm not going to allow them to sit there and suffer for a whole year just to play through it. Like, nah, bro, take your time off, mentally get right, because that whole process took me 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It took me 2 years to get healthy for my body and for my back, but it also took a year mentally for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like you said, bro, it's not just one, two, or three. It's probably 100 guys out here who are lived, or going through what I've gone through.
Yeah. And not just from the physical aspect, but from the mental
Hmm.
aspect. So many.
Absolutely, bro.
So, all right. So pivoting on from that, and so fast forward, you go from your 3 years of rehabilitation and recovery from the back injury, and 2022 is the inaugural season of the United States Football League, the revival of an old league that started back briefly, had a stint in the 80s, but you talk about basically the process of getting into the league and maybe briefly touch on your reservations about it. Or were you just like, hey, an opportunity is an opportunity. I'm going to take it and run with it?
Well, what most people don't realize or know is the spring league is what turned into the USFL.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the spring league was out for what, like 4 years or so, I guess. And so I went to the spring league the first time in 2021, 2020. It was before COVID. So yeah, before COVID happened, because I had like a year and a half, 2 year stint in the CFL, and it was before then, because the spring league is what got me picked up by the CFL. So that happened, blah blah blah. Then I did the spring league again, I think after COVID. Yeah, so like 2021 ish.
Mhm.
And then that team that I was on in the spring league was basically the same team that I got picked up for in the USFL.
Mm, okay.
It wasn't the same guys, but we had like, I think, 10 of my same teammates from the spring league that I played with, plus like two coaches that was there with us in New Jersey. Like Coach Smith was our offensive coordinator and assistant head coach in the spring league, and he was our same thing in the with the Generals.
Gotcha.
So that's where my history comes from. Was I had the same coach and basically the same teammates. Like me and Turk were the same teammates. We were on the same team in the spring league
Mhm.
as the USFL. We were both on the Sea Lions.
Mm.
And so yeah, man, and yeah, so that's what prompted me going and playing for the USFL, was playing in the spring league. And um yeah, man.
So you talk about getting to a team with Mike Riley at the helm, and obviously he won the head coach of the year last year. Talk about him as a coach. What was kind of like your first interactions with him and playing under him in New Jersey, and just
So
establishing.
funny story, man.
Yeah.
Being going back to saying I was a coach's son. I've been around Coach Riley before I ever knew I was around Coach Riley.
Oh,
So Coach Riley was the head coach at Oregon State when Steven Jackson was there, right?
okay. Yeah.
My
Yes.
stepdad was the running back coach at New Mexico. New Mexico and Oregon State played against each other in the Nugget Bowl in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So me and Coach Riley, like, we've been around each other, just never knew one another, and even we never knew. Okay, and so he Jaquiz Rogers and James Rogers were twins that played under him at Oregon State, right?
Okay.
James Rogers' uncle is my stepdad's best friend and my first agent.
Oh wow.
So like we have history, but we never knew we had history until I was being picked up by the Generals. And so, when I got picked up, Coach Riley didn't call me. Coach Smith called me, and so I drove down from Dallas to Birmingham, and man, my first time meeting Coach Riley, I fell in love with the guy, bro. Just of just how of a coach's, I mean, just how a player's coach he is, bro. Like you can't not fall in love with the guy, man. He genuinely cares about you as a person before he cares about you as a football player. And man, just the love he has for his guys, his team, the love he shows and gives to his grandson Eli is how he treats us. And that's why it was so easy for me to adapt to Eli. Like me and Eli DM each other right now, bro. Like we talk at least, if not once a week, every other month on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach Riley will send me videos of Eli at basketball practice or at 7-on-7 games because bro, Eli is like my little brother, man. Like I was Eli. You know what I'm saying? Like I was Eli at one time. You know what I'm saying? So like I understand, I get it, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's just awesome to it was an amazing experience and a very how do I say this? I can't thank Coach Riley and Coach Smith enough for giving me the opportunity to finally be a professional athlete and play in my first professional season in games, man, because man, they gave a kid from Ennis, Texas an opportunity not only fulfill his dream, but I fulfilled my uncle's dream. I fulfilled my uncle's promise that I kept to him. And you know, it's not the NFL, but I can sit here and say, uh, I put us in a professional league. I put us on a field. I put us on TV. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that strictly for me. I did that for my family. I did that for my uncle. You know what I'm saying? I did that for the future Cams that was running around saying, you know, my dad did this, my dad did that. But at the end of the story, he kept his promise. And that's my biggest thing is my plan and my goal is to have an Echols on an NFL team, on an NFL roster, praying on it. So I'm praying on the 29-yard line in somebody's stadium.
Mm.
That way I can say, not only did I keep the promise of making us a professional, but I got us to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And there was an Echols in the NFL before. My uncle who passed a couple years ago, he was, I have him tatted on my arm. That's why I have the number 36. He was picked up as a free agent from Stephen F. Austin to the Washington Redskins. And, you know, he could have made the team. He could have made it. But, you know, the thing about my family is, man, I think football means much more to me than anybody in my family because I've watched my family have opportunities of being an Olympian, being an NFL football player, and they chose being a dad. They chose being a family man. They chose, you know what I'm saying, going to take care of grandma over their dreams. And I cannot applaud and commend my family more for that. But that's why I'm doing and going so hard of making this dream come true. Because I truly feel like not only am I deserving of it, but as a family as a whole, we're more deserving to say there's not only been one Echols, but it's two Echols. But there's the Echols that stuck and stayed, and there's the Echols that got us there and that kept his promises the whole time. But on top of everything that he's done to halt the process, on top of all the injuries, I made it. I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my ultimate goal and ultimate dream of, you know, why I signed to the Breakers. Why, you know what I'm saying? I took the leap of faith and I was like, you know what? I know the Generals aren't signing me back.
Yeah.
It may be for whatever reason they want to say. Whatever. I can sit here and say what I want to say, but I won't. Um, the reason why I signed to the Breakers, not only because I feel like the Breakers have an opportunity to go win a championship and because they're one of the best teams, but I feel like the Breakers, I feel like Coach Flip and now the GM, Mr. Ryan, they're giving me the opportunity to be me, to be Cam the Monster, and to be me and allow me to be able to chase, not only chase, but fulfill the dream that I truly have. Because I told them my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what got the contract sent. Was the fact that I said, you know, I want to be that guy on y'all's team that is the first to go to the league. That's, you know, that has the opportunity for a workout and that it sticks and I get signed. You know, and my best friend is Cavante Turpin. We played together, and you know, Turp is younger than me, but I look up to Turp. Turp motivates me so much every Sunday because I recruited Turp from Monroe, Louisiana, from Neville High School.
Mm.
Me and my pops recruited Turp to come to TCU.
Mm.
Turp lived with me in my living room his freshman year, his freshman summer before I left to go to Arkansas State. Turp lived with me. So me and Turp go way back before anybody even knows. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Turp are so locked in that you can't break a chain. You know what I'm saying? So me watching Turp come in on the Sea Lions after I vouched for him and said, "No, we need him on our team." Watching Turk become the MVP, watching Turk become the All-Pro returner that he is, having the success he's having this season, bro, it's told me one thing. It's given me one thing. You can do this shit. You
Yeah,
can be the next. You can be the next MVP. You can be the next guy that goes from being an MVP to being an All-Pro, whatever you want to be in the NFL.
talk to him,
You know
Cam.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I just watched. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock him because, you know what I'm saying, bro got opportunity, but Martavius Bryant, 31 years old, didn't do a damn thing in the XFL, but got picked up by the Cowboys.
Talk to him, Cam. Talk to him, bro.
Like, I'm 29 and I can sit here and say, bro, you can't do 75% of what I can do. Yeah, you 6'4", but everything you do at 6'4", I've done at 6 feet.
Talk to him, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but you know what I'm saying, bro, that's my goal is to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not even goal because we got a stepping stone before we even get there. And I want to be the first receiver in the USFL with 1,000 receiving yards.
I, I,
That's my goal. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, bro, like my first year in the USFL, I had almost 1,000 yards kick return yards. You know what I'm saying?
that's true. That's you average 30. It was 30 yards per return, I think, in your
30,
first
30. I think it was like 30.1, but we're not going to add the point one.
man. I'll do better.
No, I'm just messing with you, bro. But yeah, bro, like how I think about it, bro. Let's just say I have 800 kick return yards, okay,
Oh,
and I give them a bando at receiver. How can you not call me the MVP? How can you not call my phone first or be one of the first phone calls from whatever 32 NFL teams to give me a tryout?
mm.
How can you not? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it. I 100% get it.
That's like walking by a gym and you seeing 7'7" Wembley in there going crazy, and you just walk out the gym.
That's a good point. That's good. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not? Like, I may not be the 24-year-old 4-3 Cam that I was, but I was 28 and you saw me walk away from 11 dudes.
Yeah.
And I promise you, the touchdown I scored against the Breakers when they recorded me, I think I ran like 20.9 miles per hour. I didn't even open up. Like, I didn't get a chance to open. I didn't get a chance to open up because I was in the end zone so fast. Like, but even on my kick return, like I didn't get a chance to open up. That was the first play of the game. I was still not loose. You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit here and say my age is a factor. You can't sit here and say I lost a step because have y'all ever really seen me run full speed? I think not.
Age is but a number, you know?
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I sat here and said, like, bro, Turp motivates me so much to the point to where it's like, not only do I believe I can be what he was, because I don't follow nobody. I follow my own footsteps and my own toot of my own horn.
That's
But yes, I look at Cavante Turpin as motivation. And not only is it, yes, he's my best friend. We talk every day. We see each other almost every other day. I can drive to his house. Like, we got it. I can follow his location and go to where he's at right now. That's how, you know what I'm saying, we locked in. But like I see myself in those exact same shoes. And I've saw myself in those exact same shoes for the last 2 years.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
and who's to say that this upcoming season that bar doesn't get raised high? And I'm sure going into this season, there's a lot more
You
expectations.
know they do say, third time is the charm.
I was about to say I had that written. That was one of the notes that I wrote down on a sidebar. Swear to God, on the Google Doc, I said third time's the charm. Swear to you, I swear to you, on my own life, that is what I put on Google Doc. It was third time's.
Cause now look, I'm gonna say something. You ready for this?
Talk to him.
Okay. My first state championship came as a junior, my third year. Okay. I won 3 that year. Okay. My best high school statistical season came my third year. Okay.
Mm,
I didn't become a true starter and a true football player until my third year in college.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
All 3 years, my first year I had to do something on special teams. Second year was mixture of both. That third year I was finally a receiver. If you go if you go back and watch like from high school, first 2 years I was strictly special teams, a little bit of quarterback. Third year all quarterback. College special teams, quarterback, a little bit receiver. Strictly the primary returner and primary receiver. You know what I'm saying? So it's something about threes here.
Yeah, I see the pattern.
You know what
Now,
I'm saying? And
I also want to sprinkle in a little nugget there, and unfortunately, this is a hard truth. I think the Breakers were one of the only teams this year to have not sent. They had a couple of tryouts with their players, but they were one of the only teams to have not sent a player to the NFL. And for me personally, as a person that worked in that hub, that was one of the most BS things I've ever seen, because I feel like that team itself, even the wide receiver room, dude, like last year it was Limo, JD, I mean, D, Surratt, Jarrett. I mean, like the list goes on. Shout out to Stove. What up, Stove Top? I
yeah,
mean, like
yeah,
depth is absolutely insane, man. And it's
that's what
just
I'm saying, bro.
there's so much potential for them offensively. They bring in Papali. They obviously you sign with them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that could make a massive run this year and put the league on notice, no matter how many people.
Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly believe that receiving room is dangerous. And I don't give a damn what defense you put up against it. There's so many weapons you can. And everybody says it's a West Coast offense. It's predicated on the running back. I was like, you have so many freaking weapons. It's hard to choose one. Like, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a whole 360 from what it was. But yeah, that's. Thank you for coming to my football TED talk there. But yeah, add
Hey
your.
man, hey bro, I'm here 7 days out the week. But the thing about that is, bro, like, so let's just say I'm on the general still.
Right.
Bro, the two teams you worry about is the Breakers and the Stallions.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, I'm okay, I'm gonna just say and say this. Every time we play Birmingham, I think at the end of that game, Birmingham knew the Generals was better than Birmingham. The score just didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Because both times the Generals or both times the Stallions got the championship, I know at least 2 or 3 guys who key guys on the team that was like, bro, we was worried about one team, and that's New Jersey. But if you go back and watch the film, bro, the Breakers were so cold. Like
Yeah.
the Breakers were actually like fundamentally sound.
Yes.
Like you can sit here and say, yeah, Birmingham had this, Birmingham had Alex, they had Dion. Like Birmingham defense wasn't really that good. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had a couple guys, but Birmingham's offense was so damn powerful.
I'm gonna go ahead and give the disclaimer now. Look, I got fam in Birmingham. I got brothers over in North
Bro,
in Birmingham.
bro, me too. Like I
It's all you now, bro. It's all you.
like, bro, the thing is, like, and I'm just being honest. Like, I'm just being honest as honest can be. Honest Abe. Like, Birmingham's offense carried them that whole year. Yes, 100%. But if you look at New Orleans, bro, you can't sit here and say offense was average. You can't sit here and say defense was average. You can't say special team was average. They were good in all aspects of the game. You ask the Generals, um, special team was okay. I feel like I was the best returner in the league. I'm always gonna say that, but we wasn't that good on special teams. Defense was lights out. We had no offense. How you expect to win? You know what I'm saying? You go to Birmingham, offense lights out. Special teams is pretty damn good. Defense average, but you're not sitting there saying 100%, 100%, 100%, or 80, 80, 80, 80. It's 175, 50. Like, but the Breakers, like, you can win when you're good in every area. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to win when you're good here, average here, and okay here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot easier to win when the defense knows offense is going to produce, and the offense knows the defense is about to get the offense right back or the ball right back. But then you also make your money. Finna switch headphones. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're
You
chilling.
also make your money when. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I bet. So you also make your money when special teams is moving. It gets you to at least the 50-yard line, or it scores points for you every game.
That's a good
You know
point.
what I'm saying? And like I feel like, not saying Eli couldn't do that, but I feel like that's what I bring to New Orleans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I bring, a lot of experience, a lot of tools to the receiver room, but I also feel like I bring that touchdown making ability to the special teams room. You know what I'm saying? And I'll call Eli right now, but like, bro, what you want? Punt return or kick return? You can have it. Just pick one. I'll take the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind that. I don't gotta sit here and say I'm the primary returner because, bro, like we got so many guys who can make plays that I don't mind. Here, bro, go get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do, like, because you can help us here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind that at all because shoot, that took the load off of me. It only keeps me a little bit fresher for offense.
Yeah, no, that's a good
So
point.
how can you not be mad at that? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I trust him and I know he trusts me. So, bro, go get your money.
Hey, real talk, and this is the last one, man. Look, first and foremost, I had not known you. We had never had any interaction prior to this podcast, but I feel like we just became friends. Like we're more than
Bro,
like
we locked in, bro. Yeah.
like. Oh, this is the next time we do this. I hope it's in person and we could have a face-to-face conversation because the past 2 hours, I know they've probably been away. I apologize for wasting your
It's
time.
good, bro. No, look, you good. I had nothing to do. I had to just put my phone on the charger and we good.
I've enjoyed your story and I've enjoyed everything you've said. I mean, you've dropped nothing but gems, man, and I can't thank you enough. But I got one more question for you. So there's a certain quarterback that is on the free agency market right now, and he just so happens to know who you are. You just so happen to know who. Matter of fact, you played with each other, and at your previous stop, and you know where I'm getting at here. Look, I Davis Cheek and Akil Glass, they are tremendous quarterbacks. And John had basically, and first and foremost, props out to Coach Steve Filippo, because when he is in the room and he is talking to each of his players, something that you should know going in there, Cam, and you probably kind of already got this from your conversations with John, but John is a guy that commands the same expectations from everybody, and it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. He wants the same
Exactly.
consistency from everybody, and I can tell you this from just watching them and observing them over the span of last season. It is the same amount of excellence from each, no matter what position. I think of the quarterbacks in particular because I mean, it was one of during the games, it was one of the first places I was. But even in practice, he had them all situated in the same area. And I mean, obviously, they're running the same, but he's talking to each one of them like the same. Like he's not giving
Right.
McLeod the same amount of attention or like the specific amount of attention. He's giving everybody the same amount of attention. And it's beautiful because that is how you make, that's how you cultivate a player's growth. You feel me? So,
Absolutely.
but there is a chance that they could add depth at that quarterback position to come in and compete guys, and not to impose the quote unquote bulging eyes emoji on especially on Twitter, now known as X, but there's a certain quarterback out there that maybe in the next 14 business days could be coming somewhere. I don't know.
I'm not gonna say I had my hand in it. I'm not gonna say I made some calls or nothing because I can't tell you what my phone done did or what's that happened. But I don't expect Bartholomew Johnson, that's what I call him. I don't expect Bartholomew to be a free agent for very long. But I also me and Bartholomew, that's my right hand man. You know what I'm saying? We've been together since the spring league. If y'all ain't caught the Bartholomew Johnson part, y'all are definitely slow.
Oh
But
man,
yeah. Yeah,
Did you Alabama State whenever you were going to Western Kentucky? Don't act like I don't watch other podcasts. Shout out to James Larson, man. Great
oh
podcast.
yeah, that's my guy, man. Me and Bartholomew have been locked in, because he got me an offer to, FAU.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have any more official visits, so that's why I didn't choose FAU. But man, I don't expect Bartholomew to be a free agent longer than Christmas.
Hmm.
Honestly,
I would say quicker than that. And
me too.
I would also say I don't think the Breakers are done at building up what they've got going on.
That sounds so funny. Because I don't think they're done either, but I'm not going to say nothing else.
Oh,
But
I know. I'm not. I say that. I think that the next massive move is on the defensive side of the ball, but I digress. So,
hey man, say man, I'm just here to help win the championship, man, and I'm just here to catch every ball thrown my way, man. And if I can help the next guy, help fulfill his dream, I'm all for that. So you can call me Cam, or you can call me Assistant GM Cam, or you can just call me Cam. It doesn't matter, but just know that I'm all about winning. And being the guy that I am, man, and just being around the football world, I know so many guys, I know so many cats, so many free agents. So yes, 100%. I've called Ryan, I've called Flip about some guys. Why wouldn't I? Because if I feel like these guys who could be, they were former first rounders in the NFL, or former all pro or whatever they are, I feel like they deserve opportunity to show why they were previously first round draft picks, or, former all pro, or, Pro Bowl guys. Like, why not?
and there was another guy you had mentioned, and I hate to bring up, just you got me stuck here. There was another guy that you mentioned who happened to play for the Maulers, and he was
Oh,
years in high school. And I think he had a tryout in the NFL, but I don't think he signed anywhere per se necessarily. And I think he would go great in the color blue because that was his high school colors. So,
you know, asking of that, I almost want to ask, isn't he under contract with the Maulers still?
I'm not for certain, actually. I don't think he is. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna find that out.
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
think I'm about to find that out.
Solid linebacking core you got building over there, buddy. But I don't. All right. Well, look, man, thank you enough for taking so much time out of your evening and just being open to being, vulnerable and telling your story. And it's a compelling story. It's beautiful. And hopefully one day, I will be able to sit with you and we can go over this story and just, interact in person because, man, dude, like, off the riff, we just hit it off, dude. Like you're
No, facts, bro. We definitely gotta go get lunch one day, bro. We can probably have the podcast where we have lunch, bro. Just vibe, bro.
look, dude. I'm trying to get it off the ground. We got it. By the way, I'll let you in, and I'll let everybody in. Y'all keep watch next week because there's a big announcement coming up.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I can tell by the rosy of your cheeks, you're excited.
I'm a little stoked. There's a big announcement coming next week.
Okay, for sure.
We'll get into too into depth. But anyway, I can't thank you enough, Cam. You've been listening to the Strive Sports Podcast, episode 10 on deck. But for now, Cam, thank you, brother.
Man, anytime, bro. I appreciate you for having me, man. It's been a blast, bro. And I don't know how long we've been on here, bro, but I had a great time, man. And I appreciate you for, having open ears and understanding my story, man. And not judging me for my past, not judging me for my mistakes, but judging me off of who I am now, man. I appreciate that. And I hopefully, everybody else can, understand where I came from, understand who I am as a person, and just hopefully y'all can continue to understand who I am now.
Thank you so much, Cam.
Always, brother.
Enjoyed it, and hopefully you will feel compelled to share your story once more with me one time soon. So thank you so much.
No doubt, brother. Always. We locked in.
All right. You've been listening to the Strive Sports Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. See you.